Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to my channel. Today, we dive into one of the most intense and suspenseful storylines unfolding in General Hospital. Jocelyn Jacks is drowning in guilt, Jason Morgan is being framed for a crime he didn't commit, and Jack Brennan is orchestrating a cover-up so intricate that even the most seasoned investigators might struggle to untangle the truth. The big question remains, how long can Jocelyn keep her secret before it eats her alive? Will Brennan succeed in manipulating the situation, or will someone finally piece together the puzzle before Jason is wrongly convicted? Let's break it all down. Jason Morgan's trial, will an innocent man go to prison? The courtroom is packed. Jason Morgan sits quietly at the defense table, his steely gaze locked forward as the prosecution builds an airtight case against him. The evidence is damning. 2 bullets fired from Jason's gun, planted at the scene by Jack Brennan, making it seem as though he pulled the trigger and ended Cyrus Renault's life. Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri, both respected authorities, have concluded that Jason was the one who shot Cyrus. Despite Jason's insistence on his innocence, the weight of the so-called evidence is working against him. To make matters worse, Jason's twin brother, Drew Quartermain, delivers a shocking blow. He claims he never saw Jason the night of the murder, strengthening the prosecution's case. Whether Drew is lying out of loyalty to someone else or simply trying to distance himself from the chaos is unclear, but one thing is certain, Jason's future is looking grim. As the trial progresses, Jocelyn watches from the sidelines, her conscience eating away at her. She knows Jason didn't kill Cyrus, because she did. But if she confesses, what will happen to her? More importantly, will Brennan even let her? Jocelyn's struggle, how long can she keep silent? Jocelyn has never been one to back down from the truth, but this time, she's in deeper than ever before. She never intended to kill Cyrus, but in the heat of the moment, she had no choice but to pull the trigger in self-defense. Now, Brennan has ensured that Jason is taking the fall, and he's keeping Jocelyn locked in his web of deceit. At first, Brennan convinces her to stay quiet, promising that he will find a way to prove Jason's innocence eventually. But as time passes and Jason's conviction seems inevitable, Jocelyn begins to doubt him. She wonders, how far is Brennan willing to go to keep this secret buried? Would he let an innocent man rot in prison just to protect her? Of course, he would. The more Jocelyn fights her own guilt, the more desperate she becomes. If Jason is convicted, can she really live with that on her conscience? Or will she finally break and confess before it's too late? Jack Brennan's master plan, who will he frame next? Brennan isn't just covering up a crime, he's controlling the entire narrative. He knew from the beginning that Jocelyn would struggle with the truth, and he made sure she had no choice but to trust him. But now that Joss is wavering, Brennan has to move quickly to keep her silent. His solution? Frame someone else. If another suspect suddenly emerges, the case against Jason could fall apart, keeping Jocelyn protected and quiet. But who will Brennan pin the murder on? Some possible options: Dante Falconeri, a detective suddenly suspected of playing both sides? It would send shockwaves through the PCPD. Alexis Davis, given her history with Cyrus and past legal troubles, she could be an easy target. Nina Reeves, Brennan may see an opportunity to turn Carly against Nina once and for all. Whoever Brennan chooses, the goal is the same: keep Jason on trial long enough for the real evidence to disappear, while giving Jocelyn a reason to stay silent. Will his plan work? Or will someone outsmart him before it's too late? How did Brennan orchestrate the cover-up? Brennan knew that if Jocelyn's crime scene remained intact, she could be caught. That's why he went to work immediately, relocating Cyrus's body and planting the necessary evidence to make Jason look guilty. His plan was executed flawlessly. He instructed Colette Moreau to stage a new crime scene, likely in the room Cyrus had rented in Port Charles. He went to Corinthos Coffee, where he fired 2 bullets from Jason's gun, ensuring that when the police examined the evidence, it would point directly to Jason. He made sure that multiple suspects, like Laura Collins, Lulu Spencer, and Elizabeth Baldwin, had airtight alibis, making it easier to narrow the focus onto Jason and Alexis. Brennan's precision and manipulation skills are eerily calculated. He doesn't just want to frame someone, he wants to control every single outcome. But even the best plans have weak spots. The only person standing in the way of his perfect cover-up is Jocelyn Jacks. Will Carly and Sonny figure it out before it's too late? While Jocelyn is falling deeper into Brennan's grasp, there's one wild card that Brennan may not have accounted for: Carly Spencer and Sonny Corinthos. Carly has been watching Jason's case unfold, and something about it just doesn't add up. She knows Jason wouldn't act recklessly, especially not after everything they've been through. If there's one thing Carly and Sonny both excel at, it's protecting their family at all costs. If Carly starts digging and uncovers evidence that points to Brennan, will she be able to expose the truth before Jason is sentenced? And more importantly, what will Sonny do once he finds out that Brennan has manipulated Jocelyn? The final question: will Jocelyn break free from Brennan's control? Jocelyn holds the power to save Jason, but at what cost? Brennan has manipulated her into believing that silence is her only option, but can she really live with herself if Jason goes to prison for something he didn't do? The longer she keeps quiet, the deeper she falls under Brennan's influence, and the harder it will be to escape. Will Jocelyn finally break her silence and confess the truth? Or will she let Jason take the fall, becoming another pawn in Brennan's dangerous game? Final thoughts: what happens next? The stakes in General Hospital have never been higher. Will Jason be convicted of a crime he didn't commit? Will Brennan successfully frame someone else to keep Jocelyn quiet? Can Carly and Sonny uncover the truth before it's too late? With secrets unraveling and betrayals looming, Port Charles is about to face one of its most shocking scandals yet. What do you think? Will Jocelyn confess, or will Brennan outmaneuver everyone? Next, we explore one of the most intense power struggles brewing in General Hospital: Sonny Corinthos versus Drew Quartermain. With Jen Sidwell lurking in the background, Laura Collins is desperate to prevent an all-out war in Port Charles. Drew is pushing forward with his controversial plan to take Sonny's peers, but Laura knows that if this happens, it could set off a chain reaction that will spiral out of control. Meanwhile, Sonny is facing a personal health crisis, forcing him to make difficult choices about his business, his future, and whether this battle is worth the cost. Can Laura find a way to shut down Drew's plan before it's too late? Will Sonny stand his ground or risk losing everything? And how far will Sidwell go to seize power? Let's break it all down. Laura Collins steps in. Can she prevent a war? With tensions at an all-time high, Laura Collins realizes she has no choice but to get involved. She knows that if Sonny and Drew continue on this collision course, Port Charles will be caught in the crossfire. She approaches Sonny Corinthos, not as a political figure, but as a friend, someone who understands what's at stake. Laura's biggest concern isn't just Sonny losing his peers, it's what happens if Sidwell gains control. She has already witnessed Sidwell's ruthless tactics, and she refuses to let Port Charles fall under his influence. Her biggest argument? Why would anyone trust Sidwell after he tried to kill Lucky Spencer, Sonny's close friend, and the police commissioner? Laura knows that if Sidwell gains control, Port Charles will be in greater danger than ever before. But the real question is, will Sonny listen? Or is he already too deep in this battle to back down? Sonny's dilemma: protect his business or his health? Sonny Corinthos is not in a position to fight battles right now, and Laura knows it. With only 3 months left before he needs heart surgery, Sonny should be focusing on his health. But instead, he's forced to deal with Drew Quartermain's attack on his business. The issue is simple: if Sonny loses his peers, he loses Corinthos Coffee. This means not only losing his legitimate business, but also crippling his underground network, making him vulnerable to enemies like Sidwell. Sonny knows the risks, but he also knows that putting off his surgery isn't an option forever. Will he sacrifice his health to protect his empire? Or will he let Laura take the reins and try to stop Drew in a different way? Drew Quartermain's plan: is he willing to go too far? Drew Quartermain is determined to strip Sonny of his power, and he sees Sidwell as the perfect ally to make that happen. Drew's argument? The city should take Sonny's peers and repurpose them for legitimate business. But Laura sees right through this plan. Drew isn't just trying to clean up Port Charles, he's trying to take Sonny down. Drew claims he has a congressman in his pocket, someone who can push through the legal maneuvering needed to make this happen. But there's one huge problem: if Sonny fights this in court, he could tie up the city for years, delaying the entire process indefinitely. Laura warns Drew that this will end badly, but he refuses to listen. The real danger? If Drew pushes too hard, Sonny won't just fight back legally, he will take matters into his own hands. Curtis Ashford's role, a wild card in the battle. One unexpected factor in this power struggle is Curtis Ashford. Unlike Drew, Curtis sees the danger in forcing Sonny's hand. He knows that if Sonny feels cornered, the situation will escalate into something much worse. Curtis is determined to stop Drew before things get out of hand. He understands that Sonny isn't just a mobster, he's also a major benefactor to Port Charles, someone who has built hospital wings, supported local businesses, and kept the city safe in ways most people don't even realize. Curtis wants to find a way to de-escalate the conflict, but with Drew and Sidwell pushing harder every day, time is running out. Will Sonny retaliate? Or will he trust Laura? Sonny Corinthos is not the kind of man who backs down from a fight. Even though he knows Laura is right about Sidwell, there's one problem: Sonny doesn't trust the system to protect what's his. He sees 2 options: let Laura handle it and try to shut down Drew through legal and political channels. Handle it his own way, which means removing Sidwell from the equation permanently. If Sonny chooses the second option, Laura knows that Port Charles could erupt into a full-scale war. Can she convince him to let her take care of Drew before it's too late? Or will Sonny decide to handle things his own way, no matter the cost? Final thoughts: what happens next? This situation is a ticking time bomb in General Hospital. Will Sonny give up his peers, or will he fight for what's his? Can Laura stop Drew before he pushes Sonny too far? What will Sidwell do next to take control of Port Charles? And will Sonny's health crisis force him to make a decision he doesn't want to make? With so much at stake, the next few weeks will be explosive, and Port Charles may never be the same again. What do you think? Will Sonny stand down, or will he fight back? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Next, we're diving into one of the most dangerous and shocking power plays unfolding in General Hospital: Drew Quartermain's alliance with Jen Sidwell. While Drew's recent political aspirations have already raised eyebrows, his decision to partner with Sidwell, a known criminal with a sinister history, could set off a dangerous chain of events that no one saw coming. As Laura Collins, Jordan Ashford, and Anna Devane scramble to assess the real threat posed by this alliance, one question remains: how far will Drew go before he realizes the cost of his choices? And will he have a chance at redemption, or is it already too late? Let's break down what this twisted alliance could mean for Port Charles, who might become Sidwell's next target, and how Drew's ego could lead to his downfall. Drew Quartermaine's partnership with Sidwell, a deal with the devil? Drew Quartermaine is no longer the man we once knew. Since taking on the Quartermaine name, he has slowly transformed into someone more ruthless, more ambitious, and more willing to cross lines that once seemed unthinkable. His political career has given him access to powerful connections, but rather than using them wisely, he has aligned himself with Jen Sidwell, a man with a deeply disturbing past. Sidwell isn't just any opportunistic businessman, he is a dangerous manipulator with a history of torture, coercion, and destruction. Even though Laura Collins confronted Sidwell about his horrific treatment of Lucky Spencer in Africa, Drew has chosen to ignore the warnings. He is fully aware of the danger, yet he continues to work alongside him, blinded by his own arrogance and thirst for power. The question now is, will Drew wake up before it's too late, or will his choices lead to irreversible consequences? Sidwell's next move, who will he target? One thing is clear: Sidwell is a master manipulator who knows exactly how to get what he wants. Drew may think that he is in control, but Sidwell always plays the long game. He knows how to leverage a person's weaknesses, and right now, Drew's greatest weakness is his family. Even though Drew has distanced himself from many of his loved ones, there is one person he still seems to care about: his daughter, Scout Quartermaine. Sidwell isn't above using innocent children as pawns in his game, and if Drew starts to resist, there is a very real possibility that Sidwell will set his sights on Scout as a way to maintain control. And it doesn't stop there. Willow Tate Corinthos and her children could also be in danger. Even though Willow chose not to move in with Drew, her past connection to him could still make her a prime target if Sidwell sees an opportunity to use her as leverage. With Drew pushing the good people in his life away, he may not even realize the danger until it's too late. Drew's fall from grace: is there any chance for redemption? At this point, Drew's ego is out of control. He has alienated his friends, ignored warnings from Laura Collins, and even gone against powerful figures like Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan. His thirst for control and power has led him straight into Sidwell's trap, but can he escape before it's too late? There is still a chance that Drew could turn things around, but it won't be easy. He would need to acknowledge the threat that Sidwell poses and cut ties before the damage becomes irreversible. Reconnect with the people who once had his back, including Jason, Laura, and even Willow. Find a way to take Sidwell down before he gains too much influence over Port Charles. But knowing Drew's stubborn nature, it seems more likely that he will dig himself deeper into the mess before realizing his mistakes. And by then, it might be too late. Laura Collins, Anna Devane, and Jordan Ashford, can they stop Sidwell? Thankfully, not everyone in Port Charles is blind to the threat that Sidwell poses. Laura Collins, Jordan Ashford, and Anna Devane recently met to discuss what needs to be done to put an end to Sidwell's growing influence before it spirals out of control. Each of them understands the stakes. Laura has a personal vendetta against Sidwell, knowing how he tormented Lucky Spencer and how he now seeks to manipulate Drew for his own gain. Anna is determined to protect Port Charles from a criminal mastermind like Sidwell, who could easily become one of the most dangerous figures the city has ever seen. Jordan, as police commissioner, wants to ensure that Sidwell doesn't use his business as a front to bring more crime into the city. But with Drew blindly supporting Sidwell, their job becomes even harder. They don't just have to stop Sidwell, they have to convince Drew that he's making a huge mistake. And with Drew's arrogance at an all-time high, that might be the biggest challenge yet. Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan, will they step in? Another major factor in this battle is Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan. Sonny has already been targeted by Drew, who is working to strip him of his power by taking his peers and cutting off his resources. But Sonny isn't just sitting back and letting it happen. If Drew and Sidwell push too hard, Sonny might retaliate in a way that changes everything. Meanwhile, Jason is watching this situation unfold closely. He may not have stepped in yet, but if Sidwell becomes a direct threat to the people Jason cares about, it's only a matter of time before he takes action. And if Jason and Sonny decide to take Sidwell down their way, Drew may soon find himself caught between two dangerous forces, with no way out. Final thoughts, what happens next? Drew Quartermain's fall from grace is happening fast, and if he doesn't realize the danger soon, he may lose everything. Will he recognize Sidwell's true nature before it's too late? Will Laura, Jordan, and Anna be able to stop Sidwell before he gains more power? Could Scout or Willow become Sidwell's next target? And what will Sonny and Jason do when they finally decide to fight back? One thing is for sure, Port Charles is on the brink of a power shift, and when the dust settles, not everyone will come out unscathed. What do you think? Will Drew realize his mistake, or is he too far gone? Let us know your predictions in the comments.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.